Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise. Every rose is heavy with dew. The thrush on high, his sleepy mate is calling, and my heart is calling you. Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise. Every rose is heavy with dew. The thrush on high, his sleepy mate is calling, and my heart is calling you. All right, that's a song called The World is Waiting for the Sunshine. The world is waiting for the sunshine. It's been in this book all this time. I never noticed it before. It's an oldie. It's a real oldie. Good evening and welcome to the No Show for Wednesday, the 14th of August, 2024. Good evening. Hello, everyone. The world is waiting for the sunrise. There's some vintage sheet music editions of it for sale online. The song is by, oh, look, it only cost 40 cents for that sheet music when it came out. It is well over 100 years old, that song. Music by Ernest Zeitz, Seitz, words by Eugene Lockhart. We're definitely going to look these guys up. The world is waiting for the sunrise. It must be metaphoric because the world is never waiting for the sunrise at the same time because the sun rises at all different hours. The world is waiting. The world is waiting for the sunrise. Here it is. It's a post-World War I song. Lyrics by American actor Eugene Lockhart, music by Canadian-born concert pianist Ernest Zeitz in 1918. He later claimed he conceived the refrain when he was 12 years old. Embarrassed about writing popular music, because Zeitz was a concert pianist, he used a pseudonym, Raymond Roberts, when the song was published in 1919 by Chappell and Co. in London. Early recordings. The earliest recording came out in 1921. The most successful recording happened in 1922 when aspiring composer and bandleader Isham Jones, with his dance orchestra, recorded the instrumental sides for Brunswick Records in New York City. Brunswick Records. I've heard some of those old recordings by that Isham Jones. Yeah, I think that's right. The world is waiting for the sunrise. That's the idea, Mary. That's why I said it. But it must be metaphorical because of the different time zones. Hildy is over there chewing on a toy that's making a little squeak. Yes, she is wearing her SAG-AFTRA strike t-shirt from last year. She has she's still healing up from a little scratch or cut in her side, so she has to wear a t-shirt. And she's sporting the SAG-AFTRA strike merch. We got a little crate from the neighbor today for Fafi, because Fafi's still, even though she's able to walk now, she's supposed to be restricted. So we have Fafi in the same crate that Gornamots was trained in. The neighbors have loaned it to us again. Thank you very much. But when I put the crate, when I assembled it, you don't really assemble it. It's this wire crate, and it kind of pancakes onto itself. So you only have to pick it up, and it sort of opens up and locks into place. So the minute I did that, Hildy somehow, like a contortionist, was able to get her giant self into that little cage. It was very cute. Yes, Hildy is no scab. Hildy is all union all day. She's wearing her support the strike, support the union. Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise. Every rose is heavy with dew. The thrush on high, his sleepy mate is calling, and my heart is calling you. The world is waiting for the sunrise. It's good. It remains germane. Let's see what we can find out about these guys who wrote this song. Eugene Lockhart. Oh, look at him. If you go to Wikipedia and look up Eugene Lockhart, by the way, thank you, Wikipedia, for being amazing. Eugene Lockhart, Edwin Eugene Lockhart, 1891 to 1957, was a Canadian-American actor, playwright, singer, lyricist. He appeared in over 300 films, received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Regis in Algiers, 1938. And, that was the remake of Pep Le Moco. But you got to see Gene Lockhart's Wikipedia photo. He has a pinky. He's like Dr. Evil, and he has a monocle. It's a great photo. It's a 1941 publicity photo. Born in London, Ontario, died at age 65 in Santa Monica, California. He made his Broadway debut in 1916 in the musical The Riviera Girl. He played football for the Toronto Argonauts. Wow. Huh. This play, there it is. He was a member of the traveling play The Pierrot Players, for which he wrote the book and lyrics. This play introduced the song The World is Waiting for the Sunrise, for which Lockhart wrote the lyrics, and Canadian composer Ernest Zeitz wrote the music. The song was subsequently made popular. So here's who popularized this song. The World is Waiting for the Sunrise was made popular by Les Paul and Mary Ford in the 50s. He wrote and directed the Broadway musical review Bunk of 1926. He sang in Die Fledermaus for the San Francisco Opera Association. So we have that in common. I also sang at that opera house. On Broadway, Lockhart originated the roles of Uncle Sid in Eugene O'Neill's only comedy, Wilderness, 1933, and Fortesque in Arthur Schwartz's Virginia, 1937. Wow. He took over from Lee J. Cobb as Willie Loman in 1949 during the original run of Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman. Wow, this guy had an incredible career. Eugene Lockhart, The World is Waiting for the Sunrise. What a career. Wow. He made his film debut in Smilin' Through, but he made a few additional appearances during the silent era. Keep smiling through just like you always do. Da da dee da 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 da. Or we'll meet again. No, but that's later. Keep smiling through. That would have been a different. He also had a great succession of good guy roles. He played Bob Cratchit in A Christmas Carol in 1938 and Judge Harper in Miracle on 34th Street. Wow. All right, interesting. He appeared in the movie Seawolf, The Seawolf in 1941, adapted from the novel by Jack London as the ship's doctor. He played Starkeeper in Carousel in 1956. His last film role was that of Equity Board President in the film Gene Eagles, 1957. He was married to Kathleen Lockhart from 1924 until his death. My God. They had a child, June Lockhart, who's an actress, and they had a granddaughter who's an actress, Anne Lockhart. My God. What a family. All right. Okay, that's what we know about the lyricist. Let's look up. Thanks for going on this little Wikipedia expedition with me. Ernest Zeitz. 1892 to 1978, Canadian composer, songwriter, pianist. The World is Waiting for the Sunrise. That's his most famous work. He was made a fellow at the Royal Society of Arts in London in 1954. Concert pianist from 1914 to 1945. Most active in the 20s and 30s. All right, concert pianist. I guess it would be worth hearing this number on the. Oh, Moonrise. Wait, is that you mean the Neil Young song, or did someone ask for Moonrise? The plinkety plink of the nylon ukulele strings. That's right. His wife was an actor. I think they're all actors. Belongs in an opera. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good subject. What a life, this Edwin Lockhart. Edwin Eugene Lockhart. All right. Well, that's that song, 1919. Dear one, the world is waiting for the sunrise. Every rose is heavy with dew. The thrush on high, his sleepy mate is calling, and my heart is calling you. I feel like there has to be more to that song. That's just like 16 bars. Anyhow, there it is. Welcome to the nosho. I'm Ethan. This is the show for Wednesday. The world is waiting for the sunrise. I went to this event tonight for MVP. It was the first time I met some of the MVP people in person. I've known them through some MVP meetings on Zoom through the years since 2000, since 2020 rather. Movement Voter Project, MVP Movement Voter Project. I went to a local event. It was pretty interesting. It's nice to see a room full of people who are passionate about supporting the Democratic Party and supporting grassroots organizations to help Democratic candidates get elected. Instead of just feeling like you're isolated with your concerns and your whatever calling or donating you can do, it's nice to gather in a room with a bunch of people. Check out MVP, www.movement.vote, www.movement.vote, and mark your calendar for September 19th, Thursday, September 19th, 7 p.m. We're doing a Zoom with all kinds of exciting. Tomorrow we're going to have the meeting in order to finalize the invitation, so then I will be sending out the invitations. La da 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 da. There he is, Gene Lockhart. That's right. Wait, what is moonrise? Moonrise that someone is suggesting. I gotta look this up. Moon, Moon River, Moonlight Bay, Moon, Moon, Moon. I swam today. I finally got back into the bay to work on my butterfly. The bay, the conditions were perfect. It was like a somewhere between a swimming pool and a bathtub as far as the stillness of the water. Very still. I hadn't been really swimming much for a couple of weeks. And I have on September 7th this fundraiser swim, which my big plan was to do the whole thing butterfly. So today I went in and I thought, okay, I better just be able to do 100 strokes of butterfly because I had built up to 700 strokes back in July, thinking I need to be able to do around 800 to finish that swim. So I built up to 700, but then it's been a few weeks. So today I thought I better be able to just do 100, and I did 100, and that was fine. So then I did another 100, and then I did 222 strokes today. So my goal is tomorrow to do 333 strokes, and then the next day 444, etc. You see the pattern? I'm just looking for a number that's really easy to remember. So, and that way I'll get back up to speed, and then I'll have a few weeks to get strong again. So I'll be able to do it. Weekly radio show, California Solartopia. Oh, very cool, Mila. Where can we listen to your weekly California Solartopia show? Please put a link in the chat. Do I use flippers? I do not use flippers, Don. My feet are almost like flippers. They're size 13s. Oh, Bella Lune makes a good point. Might have lost family in the epidemic. The writer of that song. It was 1919. The end of that. The great plague. What was the Great War and the White Plague? Was it also called the Great Plague? Yeah, I don't know. We gotta have our ukulele fix. Plink-a-dink dink. Okay, let me find another song. Oh, Moonrise. There's Moon Shadow. That's another good song. Moon Shadow chords. I don't particularly like that chord. Transpose. Down. There we go. Those are chords I like better. So handy to be able to. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. It's gruesome. It's a gruesome lyric. I never thought of that. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my plow, lose my land, oh, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all ran dry, Yes, if I ever lose my eyes. Oh, hey, guys. Hey, stop your fighting. Hildy, don't do that. She's biting his flea collar. She's got him in like some fancy judo grip where her teeth are in. It's like a Mike Tyson judo move. His flea and tick collar was in her jaws. Yes, if I ever lose my eyes away, I won't have to cry no more. Oh, I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my legs, I won't moan and I won't beg. Yes, if I ever lose my legs, oh, I won't have to walk no more. I was just listening to that English Buddhist thinker, what's his name? Alan Watts. There was a little Alan Watts video that popped up that was really great. Someone animated it. It's a Chinese story about a guy's horse runs away, and his neighbors say, "Oh, that's so bad that your horse ran away." And the guy says, "Maybe." And then the horse comes back the next day with 7 more horses. And the neighbors come by and they say, "Oh, that's great. That's great. Your horse brought back 7 more horses, and that's great." And the guy says, "Maybe." And then his son is training one of the horses and gets thrown from the horse and breaks his leg. And the neighbors come by and they say, "Oh, that's terrible. Your son broke his leg." And he said, "Maybe." And then the next day, a representative from the military comes by and they're conscripting soldiers so they don't take the son because his leg is broken. And the neighbors come by and say, "That's great that they didn't take your son." And the guy says, "Maybe." Um, Etc. You could tell that story on and on. But it's funny because these lyrics remind me of that because all these terrible things are happening in the song. This guy's losing his limbs, he's losing his faculties, he's losing his sense organs, and he's saying, "Oh, but the good side is I don't have to." And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south. Yes, yes, if I ever lose my mouth, oh, I won't have to talk. Oh, and this is that weird middle section. Didn't take long to find me. I asked the faithful light. Didn't take long to find me. And are you gonna stay the night? I forgot about that. What is that section doing there? He goes, I won't have to talk. Didn't take long to find me. I asked the faithful light. Didn't take long to find. Oh, did it take long to find me? And are you gonna stay the night? I always thought it was didn't take long. It's a question though. Did it take long to find me? Okay, here's the end of the song. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, leaping and hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. There, that was my first attempt ever at picking the strings. Okay, Moon Shadow, Cat Stevens, what was that, 1968, 1973, what are we, anyone know? What a beautiful song. Moon Shadow. Someone asked for a moon song, so there we go. Moon Shadow, Moon Shadow. 1970. Yeah, I was close. Cat Stevens, known since 1978 as Yusuf Islam, the song was first released in the UK in 1970 on the Island label, and in the US in 1971 on the A&M label. And it also appears on Stevens' 1971 album Teaser and the Firecat. What's the story behind? I just burped a little. I hope you didn't hear that. Moonshadow was inspired by the death of Harry Houdini and the attempts of his wife to communicate with him after his death. No, that's the song called Moonlight Shadow. I was going to say, that doesn't sound like it has anything to do. Okay, I'm going to read some. I missed a bunch of comments because I was busy yapping and singing. Mermaid alert. Culvert Moon. So Mary says, after 222, 333, 444, and 555, do you opt out? Well, I'm not going to be able to every day add 111 strokes. That's going to be, well, maybe until around 6. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I just didn't want to jump in and do too much and hurt myself. That's always the mistake. But I don't think I have to go past, say, 777. Maybe that'll be the end of my training when I can do 777. We'll see. Culvert Moon. Okay, Culver Moon. I've always wanted web toes. I have a friend who had web toes. That was weird. I mean, that's not the right thing to say. It wasn't weird. It was interesting. Are the dogs in the mosh pit? It's sort of a mosh pit, yeah. Now they're on the bed, just chewing on each other's necks. It's very cute. It's just a flesh wound. That is correct. Incredible string band, Mila says, quote, I can't keep my hand on the plow because it's dying. Lyrics from delightful song Chinese White. I will look that up. Chinese White. Okay, I'm gonna Google that right now so I don't forget to. Chinese White. Many things are popping up like a painting color. Here it is, the incredible string band Chinese White. Okay, thank you. I'm going to listen to that. Didn't take long to find me because you have lost your body parts to escape. That's funny. Oh, yeah, singing along. It's hard not to sing along with that Cat Stevens stuff. Moon River is a good one, but I can't. It's a little too schmaltzy, even for me. Oh, this is a nice one. We've done a bunch. This is 1902. In the good old summertime, in the good old summertime, strolling through the shady lane with your baby mine. You hold her hand and she holds yours, and that's a very good sign that she's your Tootsie Wootsie in the good old summertime. Hey, Copenhagen. Hello, Copenhagen. Nice to see you. Good evening from Copenhagen. It's 3:30 in the morning in Copenhagen, I believe. Hello, Tommy. Thank you for joining. A Moon of Alabama. That sounds like a good one. Hey, Tommy, can you send me a good Danish song I could learn? I'd love to learn a song in Danish. Moon over Alabama. Oh, Nina Simone. Wow, okay. But I guess maybe it's originally. Richard Lindner. Is that who wrote it? 1963. No. Oh, Richard Lindner. Oh my God. He's the guy who painted. Oh my God, that's so crazy. This is the guy. This is a painting from 1963 by Richard Lindner called Moon over Alabama. But I know this painter because a painting by him was on the cover of the collected plays, the complete plays of Joe Orton, which was a book I just absolutely loved. We studied those plays of Joe Orton back in high school, and I loved it. And this was the cover. Oh, from Three Penny Opera. Okay. Wait, is this the whiskey bar? Show me the way to the next. Is it that one? Oh, of course. Oh, I know that song. Whiskey Bar, yeah. I know it from the Doors originally. I didn't know it was called Moon Over Alabama. Okay, I'm going to learn that song also. All right, there it is. We've done a show. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh, that would be fun to do some other Doors things. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Suddenly I'm going into this new stuff, newish stuff, only 50, 60 years old. Um, all right, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to do, yeah. It's called both Moon Over Alabama, Moon of Alabama, and it's called Alabama Song, and it's also called the Whiskey Bar. So it's known as many things. Apparently, it has a long, yeah, that's 100 years old, that song. It's been through a lot of permutations. All right, well, I'm just going to thank everybody and say goodnight. Thank you very much for your eyes and your ears. Don't go losing them like in Moon Shadow. And thank you for tuning in. I'm here every night at 9. Please take a look at MVP, movement.vote, www.movement.vote. And everybody stay strong, stay relaxed, and enjoy. Have a great night.